I'm Jeremy Wilson, and this is a little bit about my story, but I hope that through this it'll become clear. This is really God's story of how He's provided for me, my family. My story starts in high school in terms of my walk with the Lord. I grew up in a great home. My parents gave us a great home to grow up in, my brothers, two brothers and myself. And in high school, I had a couple of friends invite me to church, youth group, and an aunt also that was prompting my whole family to go to church. And so as a family, we all started going to church, and during that time that I placed my trust in Jesus and began to follow Him. And you know, from that point forward, as I look back on life, it's just so evident to me the ways that He has provided. And I think about going to college, and college can be a tough time for people of faith, and He just surrounded me with people that really, not necessarily all Christians, but good people that throughout undergraduate and graduate school. In graduate school, I joined a graduate fellowship group and spent most of my time outside of school with those folks. And so it was, again, as I look back, it's just so obvious to me how He was providing. And got out of college and went to work, and again, opportunity came my way that I look back and I just know God was working in that, and did that for a few years. And then I had always thought that I would like to teach. And so about 5 years after working in the private sector as an engineer, I moved to Modesto and got a job teaching at Modesto Junior College. And I felt like that prayer had been answered. It was doing what I wanted to do, and I enjoyed it. No job's perfect. It had its challenges as well. But after 5 or 6 years, the college district landed on hard times, budget issues, and I actually got laid off in 2011. Obviously a really difficult time. It was also the time that I had met my now wife, Stacy, and so that in a good way overshadowed a lot of what was happening. We just got engaged, and so I'm thankful for that. But still, difficult time. And from that point forward in my career, I had 2 or 3 jobs, had situations where I felt like I wasn't in the right place. I was really struggling with, as I was getting older, what is my purpose in the job that I've got? We all want to have purpose in that. And as I thought, well, okay, I need to move on to something else, God always provided. There was something there. I remember many times Stacy and I just praying about, where are we going to go from here, and God bringing opportunities my way. And lo and behold, in 2019, Modesto Junior College decided to bring their engineering program back, and I had to really think about it, pray about it, but I decided that I thought that this is really where God wanted me. He provided the opportunity, and I have such a different perspective now, and I've accepted that job, and I've actually got 1 year under my belt there. I just really feel like I'm there for a different reason now. I feel like He's really calling me to be a light in that community, not only to faculty, but to students as well. And now things are changing as I'm getting older. I've got a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old, changing in that my focus is now just not so much on me and my career, but also what am I going to pass on to my kids? What's that legacy going to be? And as I think about that, I want them to know that no matter what they do, no matter how successful they might be in career and relationships and marriage and finances, that there's always going to be this emptiness if they don't place their trust in the Lord. And a couple verses that come to mind that when I think about that and passing along to them. I love Philippians 4:6. It's very, it's quoted often. It's a great verse about not being anxious, but to me 4:7 is also just such a huge promise that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, can be ours. And that peace that I don't necessarily say I have all the time, but I want them to know that no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what they're doing in terms of jobs and careers and relationships, that they can have that peace, and it will surpass all understanding. It will guard their hearts and minds. And so I also want them to know that as Christians, we're going to endure difficulty, but we are called to be different. We are not necessarily going to be pursuing the same things that the world pursues, but if they will do that, and if they'll trust in Him, then they'll have that fulfillment that we were created to have by walking with our Creator.